Hey guys, Spudknocker here, as always, and today I wanted to bring you guys a bit of a different type of video here. I wanted to discuss with you guys an idea I had, and I wanted to see what you guys think, whether you support the idea or you don't like the idea or whatever it is. So definitely sound off in the comments after you watch this video, and of course leave a like and potentially subscribe if you like the video and you like my channel, of course. But I've been a little bit hesitant to make this type of video before because I don't want to be labeled as someone who's ungrateful for or not supportive of DCS World or Eagle Dynamics, and I think that my record speaks for itself and that I've been incredibly supportive of DCS World as a product and as a game, and it's something that's just a fantastic, amazing product, as well as super supportive Eagle Dynamics and all of their awesome efforts going into DCS World. So I wanted to make this video and kind of cash in that little bit of influencer chip that I've been building up, and wanted to bring you guys a little bit of a feature idea that I've been thinking about for a long time now. It's something that I think could really up the usability of DCS World and really increase the player friendliness of DCS World. To me, it's a simple kind of modification, but of course I'm not a graphic designer and I'm not a computer programmer, so you know, that's up for more people with more expertise to decide. But this is just an idea, and I thought I'd kick off a conversation about it. And this idea links directly to the F-14B Tomcat and Heapler's fantastic work on it, so I figured we'd fly in the F-14B while we discuss this today. So this idea has to do with the radio systems within DCS and how to improve those radio systems to make them a heck of a lot better and more user-friendly within DCS World, especially for players who use VR who can't necessarily see their keyboard or the controls on their HOTAS. So let's go ahead and hop in the cockpit and get started with this kind of idea video. So we should have ourselves a tanker around here somewhere. Where'd he go? Ah, there he is. He's out in front of us a bit. We'll go ahead and speed on up a little bit. I just flipped on the dot labels there so you guys can see him a little easier. It's a very faint little outline of a KC-135 with some MPRS pods on it out there. And so my idea here is that when Heapler came to make the F-14B Tomcat for DCS World, when they designed the module, there was a rather insurmountable problem that they faced. And that was, how do we make the F-14B or F-14A, whatever model the F-14, usable within a single-player heavy and single-player influenced game, when you need to have two guys in the jet at all times in order for the jet to actually function in any meaningful combat role. And so they came up with a very rather elegant solution. I know that people you know, complain about the gesture AI system and complain about the radial menu inputs, but in reality, it is a very, very good solution to a very, very technical problem. How did Heapler do this? They made an AI and they made an interface to communicate with that AI, which is really, really cool in my opinion. And I think that this radial menu, which works extremely well and is super, super user-friendly and super, super intuitive, is a model that I think the Eagle Dynamics should take this model and run with it and make this radial menu something that pops up for any time you're trying to communicate with any of the AI within DCS World. Whether that's a tanker, like the tanker we have up here in front of us, or it's a LSO on the new aircraft carrier models, or the tower at Nellis Air Force Base, or anything in between. And I think that it would be incredibly, incredibly awesome, because if we go to talk to this tanker, first we'll get Jester to tune up the ARC 182 radio, which is in the back seat. There, the control interface for it is in the back seat, so all we got to do is hit the radio intercom switch. We'll go up to the ARN ARC 182. We'll go over to the TAC menu, and we'll say KC-135 MPRS shell. And boom, there we are. We're now on the correct radio frequency on our ARC 182 in order to talk to Shell out here. And so when you're at this point, you can do all that inside your VR headset super easily, super, you know, without even thinking about it. You just simply go boom, 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 just moving your head around really. And it's very, very quick, very easy, super intuitive. But now that we're on the correct frequency to talk to that tanker, we now have to slide our VR goggles up, or, you know, kind of look through our nose hole to look at the keyboard and find our F keys for contacting Shell over the radio. Cool. So it works. You know, it works. It is fine. It is functional, but it could be better, in my opinion. And so this old kind of radio menu with the F keys, you know, it's been around in flight simulators since the 1990s, really. It's a little outdated, whereas the radio menu for Jester is kind of the new thing. It's super intuitive, like I've been saying, super easy, and you can hop into the F-14 and talk to Jester right away without really even having to even learn that much. And like I said, it works really well for those head tracking type game devices. I use TrackIR personally, so I can always see my keyboard, but I can definitely see where a radio menu for the rest of the radios could really help those VR guys out and make their lives just a heck of a lot easier. Now, when it comes to all the new stuff that's coming to DCS World, I think this is kind of the perfect time to suggest this idea to the wider DCS World community. I've posted about it on the forums, the ED forums. I know that a couple other people have had this idea and posted it there, and so I wanted to see what you guys think about it, really. And so kind of digging into this a little bit further, if we were in close formation with a whole bunch of different jets, whether we're in an F-16, an F-18, an F-14, it doesn't matter, and we're all formed up on the tanker and everyone's taking turns, and say John is in his VR headset and it's his turn to tank. Now he's trying to stay in formation, he's trying to look through his nose hole to find those keys and these F keys in order to get talking to the tanker and get hooked up with the tanker. And while he's doing that, he's also trying to fly formation with the tanker, not hit the tanker, not hit his buddies, and to be safe, he's got to fall out of formation. He's got to get away from the tanker, get away from his buddies, where in reality, you know, a real fighter pilot would just simply talk on the radio and stay in formation and go on right in. I think that's a much more easier task to accomplish with some sort of a radial menu that you're looking at just with your head than if you were trying to use different keys on your keyboard and F keys and all this kind of stuff in order to actually talk on those radios and get that tanker ready for your hookup. I think this would be super applicable to the new super carrier module that's coming out pretty soon here that I've already pre-ordered for myself, and I know quite a few people have already pre-ordered. Is you're on short final coming into the deck and it's time for you to call the ball. Well, if you've got to go and call the ball and hit your radio key and then hit a couple F keys to then call the ball, that takes a lot of concentration. That takes your sight picture away from the deck of the carrier. It takes your concentration away from flying that approach to the carrier deck, and is going to cause a lot of ramp strikes as a result, in my opinion. Ejections, ramp strikes, and frustration on the part of DCS World players. And so that's another kind of instance where I believe that this kind of a radial menu with head tracking and head movement to get to the right functions on those radios would be absolutely perfect and be a super great, super elegant decision and super elegant feature for DCS to have implemented in. So thanks for listening to my idea here. For Matt Wagner or anyone else at Eagle Dynamics, I mean no disrespect, I mean no harm or anything like that. It's just simply an idea. It's something I've been thinking about for a long time now, in thinking about the radio menus and how to make DCS World the most fun, player-friendly, user-friendly experience possible. We're already, you know, light years ahead and the most amazing flight simulator that I've ever experienced, and this would just make it that much better for everyone in DCS World across the board, no matter if you're a World War II guy, you're a modern jet guy, or you're someone who enjoys it all and loves flying aerobatics and everything in between. So, like I said, let me know what you guys think about this kind of idea down in the comments, and whether you like the idea or don't like the idea, if you have any additional ideas or anything you would like to add to what I've said, or anything you'd like to change to my idea. I'd definitely love to hear what you guys have to say, and as always, let's keep it fun, let's keep it positive, and keep it respectful down in the comments if possible. So, have an awesome Saturday, guys, and I hope I'll see you guys in the mission tomorrow. So, thanks a lot, guys, and fly safe.